Okay, welcome everybody to Coffee and Art in the Morning, Hump Day. Mike, 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 Mike. Thanks everybody for being here. So I'm going to go ahead and if you're watching this recorded on YouTube, we're over on Ustream.tv with a live chat. Chatty Cathy's over here. I'm telling you, we're a chatty group. Just be prepared. So anyway, I'm going to try to finish. I got one going in here in the seasons. This is I think the Swedish version. Now the blue version, which is the English version, says seasons on it, and it's blue. So it's the same book, it's just different cover, and this one's, not the American version or the English version. And then I want to work some more in, let's see, did I write down how to pronounce it? I thought I did. I wrote down how to pronounce it, I think. Zimya Snova by Tomislav Tomic. And so I started a page in here and we worked on it for a while. So I really want to kind of finish this up today. I want to finish the trees and the I don't know how far we'll get, but I'm just going to work in a couple of different color books today. And then Monday I started coloring this by request in Seasons. Where is it? I started coloring these cats. And this video is on Ustream, but it will not upload to YouTube. If y'all were here on Monday, the end of Monday's stream, we kept getting disconnected there at the end, and I think it corrupted the file or something. So that video will not upload to YouTube, but it is on Ustream if you want to see this far. It's a watercolor, Neocolor. No, it was not Neocolor. It was watercolor. It was a watercolor base, and then started shading with Prismacolor. But that, like I said, if you want to see that, it's on Ustream. It's not uploading. So that's as far as we got on that. So I kind of want to do a little bit more work on this, and then if we, see how far long this takes and whatever. I also want to do some another altered book piece, and I'll just kind of flip through here. I know y'all have seen this a bunch of times, but I want to work in the abandoned places, mixed media, altered. Let me find a couple here that are done. This one, let's flip through here. And so I kind of wanted to do some more work in this. Haven't worked in it in a while, and I have 3 or 4 of them bookmarked that I want to, might choose from. This one is done. And there's videos for pretty much all of these. There's videos for pretty much all of them. Let's see what else. What else is in here? And it's a thick book. And again, if you want to do an altered book, take a book and alter it and make your own worlds, make sure you pick a topic, a subject, a book that you are interested in. I like these abandoned places, but not everybody likes that kind of thing. And if you pick a book that you don't like, you're not going to stick with it, because it is a commitment to alter a whole book. And so you want it to be a topic, a subject that you enjoy altering, because you won't stick with it if you don't. See, here's another one we did. I think this might have been the last one that we did in this book, the last video. Let's see what else is in here. But I have a few bookmarked that I want to work in. Let's see, is this one? This one? I know there's a video for that one. So probably going to try to do some work in this sometime today. We'll see how it goes, how much time we have. And you know, I like altered worlds, altered dimensions, uh, space, the space-time continuum, and nebulization. I like doing this kind of thing. Now this one's completed and varnished, so you can see I've varnished this one. And I will eventually varnish all the pages that are finished. But I only have a couple varnished right now, this being one of them. And so yeah, this has a piece of something stuck in here. And yeah, so Abandoned Places. And a whole bunch of us bought this book, and then I was gifted another one. So I bought one and was gifted one. So I have one to cut up and one to alter. And so I love working in this. But again, I like this. If you like gardens or pets or birds or whatever, you want to have a book of stuff that you like, because otherwise you won't stick with it. And this is a commitment if you really want to alter a full-on book like I do. And then I also have the one Eileen sent me, which is kind of similar, Forgotten Heritage. And I've only done a couple in this one too. I won't flip through the whole book. Let me see if I can just flip to the ones that I've done. I've only finished a couple. I've added collage elements, like stuck them down with just a, tack them down with a glue stick just to hold them there until I get, to them. All right, here's one that I finished. This one's done. And it's a little flashed out, guys, and there we go. So this one's finished. I think I have another one in here. So it's the same thing. They take time to, where is it? They take time to finish. It must be back here a little further. It's the one with the wind coming through the window. Was that it? I think I've done 3 in this one. Let's see. I should have bookmarked them so I could find them, but I didn't think I was pulling this one out today. I know there's at least 1 or 2 more. Well, I'm not fine. Ah, here we go. This one's done. Thanks, Button. Is there a good way to keep varnish smooth? Yeah, use a foam brush, Lena, not a brush. Use a foam brush. Hey, Jean. Yeah, that's the trick. That's the secret to a smooth varnish, is a foam brush. Now, when I do my little art cards, I use the same varnish on all of them. It's a Delta Ceramcoat Interior Exterior Gloss Varnish. You can get it at Hobby Lobby. I don't think they sell it at Michael's anymore. At least my Mike said they're not selling it there anymore. But when I put it on the art cards, I just squeeze a little, like the size of a quarter maybe, and then smooth it out with my finger. For the little ones, but something as big as a book or altered, a bigger piece, you need to just use a foam brush. So we'll see about working in this today. So I wanted to work a little bit more now. Again, guys, sorry about that there's no video up for this, because it did not upload to YouTube. So if you want to see what we did here, I'm just going to work a little bit more on this one, maybe 30 minutes. And then I want to work on, again, let me look at I wrote how to pronounce it. Zimya Snova. And we're going to work in this so I can continue on this page a little bit. And I don't know that we're going to finish it, either one. But we're going to work on them a little bit. So, yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Hope you're doing well, Sassy Pants. Hey, Julie Topaz. How you doing? All right, so I'll zoom in a little bit here on this. Let's see what we can do for close-ups. That might be too close. Maybe there. Thinking that may look good. And it needs a little bit. I guess it's not. Is it too light? I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. There. All right. So we're going to work on these cats. All right. Let me get my pencils back, and I'm just working in Prismacolors. Let me move my coffee. way out of the way. And so I was using some, and I told you all the colors I used last Monday. I think these might be the same ones. I'm not sure. Okay, so I had a sienna. Let's see. I think this was the one I was using. I think I was using a sienna, a terracotta or a sienna, a cool gray 70. I was using pale vermilion, a yellow ochre, have a black, and I'll probably need a white. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll start with these. Hey, Connie. Okay, so I gotta move a lot of stuff out of my way here. Because I moved the computer over a little. Make some space. And then everything piles up right where you're working. So I gotta shove that out of the way. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, there we go. So we were working on the fur, and I think we left off with the face here. And we're just doing little, like, fur ticks. And so I'm just going to continue doing some little fur lines on it. And again, the base of this right here, the base and the base here are watercolor. And then really all we've done is the eyes. We did the eyes. I can't get any closer, guys, because I'm pretty zoomed in. And the little dark fur lines here. And now I'm just starting to shade and do other little fur lines. So especially like in the shadows, I'll get in here. And there's little pollen, I think it's little mushroom pollens on certain pages. Really, there's probably on a lot of the pages. I'm not trying to color around those on the cats. There's some floating around on the cats. I don't try to go around little things like that. I'll just color over them and then go back. I'll go back in there and color those in, either with a pencil or depending on what color I want to do it. So, and I've already shaded inside their little wreath headpiece thing here, flowers. So that's as far as we got. If y'all have any questions, put them in caps. Can you actually use what, Dot? I missed something there. Okay, so I'm just going to keep coloring here for a minute. Hey, Tatiana. Tatiana does a YouTube book review. I've only watched a couple. I need to watch more of hers. But I like her. I like Tatiana. I like her personality. I like you, Tatiana. You're cool. I miss having a cat. Never gone this long. Yeah, me too, Victoria. It's been, oh, I don't even know. I'm thinking it's going on 2 years since Walter, my cat Walter, went over the Rainbow Bridge. So I'm just kind of just doing little tick marks. And this, actually, gray cats are usually short hair, but I'm doing a little bit longer just because I want to show some fur. But, you know, if you don't want it to be a real long hair cat, then don't put a lot of tick marks. Do more just soft shading, because they won't have hair. But the thing about this one in the seasons is that it has a little bit of long hair because the edges have like, you know, kind of sticking out fur. Oh, Tatiana goes, oh, thanks, Dede. I like you too. But if you want a little bit extra oomph on the fur, on the edges, just kind of flick you out some on the edges. Go past the lines of the color book and give it a little bit longer fur if you want. You know, nothing's stopping you from making it even furrier. Hey, Linda, art unit. Call Linda. Linda and I, we have our own pet name since like day one. So I'm just gonna keep working here for a minute and trying to chat and keep up with chat. If y'all have any questions, Mountain Dew, my blue boy is a long-haired gray cat. Yeah, that's true. Blue. What are they called? Not. I forget the name of them, but yeah, there are long-haired grays, but mostly, and I've had a few short-hair grays, so I guess I'm just used to having short-hair grays. And then, of course, a lot of Siamese cats in my life. Let me sharpen my pencil again. It seems that I end up getting stray Siamese. I know you wonder how do you get stray Siamese? I've actually had at least two, maybe three Siamese strays come up to my door, and I've adopted them. But it always seems that they have feline leukemia, and so I don't get to keep them for long. They don't last very long. They don't live very long, I should say. But then I've had some cats Siamese cats I've had for quite a while, but I've adopted them from other people that were either moving or, whatever. So I've adopted a few Siamese. But and then Hub's just, he's saying and I might, we'll see what's going on around Christmas time. He's thinking about getting me a Siamese set, twins, pair. Hey, Uncertain Voyage. Why am I not thinking of your name right now? I know who you are. Why am I not thinking of your name, Voyage? And as soon as you tell me, I'm going to go, oh my gosh, how could I forget? But it's been a while since you've been here. But I can't remember your name right off the bat. Why can't I remember? Sounds like there's a stray Siamese mom. Well, it's been in different neighborhoods too. Now in this neighborhood, I've had one, maybe two here, but it's been years apart, so it couldn't have been from the same mama. That could be too. They could put them out. Corey, Corey. Yeah, thanks, Jean. Jean put it. Corey. And we have new Corys too, so it's probably I'm just not remembering because we have new Corys. All right, so you see how I'm just going on top, so the base layer of the cat. I need to be not get too carried away here. I want to kind of keep it kind of not so dark, but I was trying to kind of shade around those plants that are, I guess they've got little bushes and things just sticking out of their body. I don't know. It's just cute. Okay, so, and then you kind of want to go with the way the fur is growing. Like this is going to kind of go down like this on the arm. And then, the tail, they're kind of going up, and there are little edges that the artist put in there. You can kind of follow the edges of the art that the artist drew. Sharpening again. And so let's take a minute to shade a little under the jewels here. So what's everybody working on? I know some people are working on color books. And I Jennifer Crackalacken had to go back to work, so she's probably not going to be here. But hey, Jen, reading with pugs. So just do a little shading in there. So we're going to try to do a little bit of color booking today and work in the abandoned places. So let's do a little shading under the little jewels there. Other day we decided that Dede was the captain of our 3-hour tour. Yes. Jean should be the professor. She'll be Gilligan. Connie. Yeah, the 3-hour tour. Yeah. That's what this is. So stay with the tour, people. Stay with the tour. Ah, Connie. We know how to read typos here, girl. Girl, we can read some typos. Just ask Jean. The professor. The professor does more typos and funny ones probably than any of us. So, yeah, we can read typos. Sorry, Jean, you were handy. Oh, gee, I was in her show the other day, and she goes, yeah, Dee just thinks I'm handy. I use her as an example. But you are, Jean. You're handy. Yes, stay with the tour, Linda. Ronja's working a magical journey with Inktense. Yay! Do you have a YouTube channel, Ronja? I don't remember. Karen K's working in Fantasia, the angel with prismas and luminance, trying to blend with Zest It. Okay, now, is that like Citrusol? I don't use any kind of, excuse me, guys, let me take a drink of coffee. I don't use any kind of mediums in my coloring. So I don't know if Zest It is that like Citrusol? You know, like people do the transfers and stuff. Paula's done Citrusol stuff. I've never done the Citrusol. I don't think I've ever done the Citrusol. Sally may doodling my arm off. Patty, perfect Patty's keep all arms and legs inside the car until the ride has come to a complete stop. I understood, Patty. Oh my gosh. So your keyboard is so short. I'm always hitting the wrong thing. Oh yeah. Oh, that's all right. We read typos. Your work. Jen is working in Jane Madej grayscale adorable. Yeah, I've done one or two pictures in that, and you and Anne enabled me on that book, and I've only worked in a couple of them. A couple, we go from book to book. We can't help ourselves. Kathy's eating breakfast. Lena's in Imagimorphia. Zest is like Gamasol. Okay, yeah, all right. So it's like the the blending. What's the word I'm trying to think of? Jeez, odorless paint thinner. Although I'm thinking Zest sounds like it smells. Does it? I'm not going to do it, guys. I mean, I might do it if someone requested it or something, but really, it's not me. I've tried using the what do you call it, the odorless paint thinner. I just don't like the way it does. I don't like the way it leaves rings and I just don't like it. It's just not my thing. If you like it, nothing wrong with that. The struggle is really in choosing what color book to work on. For sure, Jen, for sure. I'm doing this one for Jennifer Crackalacken. And I think she had to go back to work, so she's probably not going to be here. And the part, like I said, the first part of this is on Ustream, but we were having issues on Monday toward the end, and I think the file got corrupted, so it won't upload to YouTube. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm making this one quite furry. Now I'm going to blend some of this out too. I'm just getting it on here. It, takes a little time if you want to do it like this. And you don't have to do it this furry. The other way you can do fur is just do it like here. Look, let me show you. Like just kind of do a few like this. Just kind of indicate that it's furry. You don't have to do it like this, but I wanted to. So far you like Zested. It works fine with your prismas. Oh, well, good, Karen. You need to show us some examples. Are you on Twitter? I don't remember. Or Instagram? I can't remember who's on which platform. Some of y'all are on Facebook, some are on Twitter, some are on Instagram, some are on YouTube, some are on Ustream. And everybody has different names on all of them. So there's different names for each one, so yeah. I do my best to try to remember. Suzanne's working in the Dover book blue only with, yeah, Anne's got a challenge, right? Going with coloring a blue, using just blue. Is that what it was? I'm a little behind on some of the videos. I try. I do my best. Keep up with everybody. Yeah, I'm always me too. I mean, sometimes I'll have inkwell or inkiwell, but I always have my real name too. So it's, you can find either one. All right, so some of this area behind here is a little darker. So I'm just going to kind of color that in kind of solid back there behind. Same for this foot here. It's going to be behind this leg, so I'll just kind of color that in. My Twitter is the only one. I have a different name because yeah. Well, and ask Linda White Holloway. We don't want to use you don't want to use Inkwell on Twitter. I'm Inkiwell. Don't get Pedro mad, right, Linda? All right, so I'm just gonna keep adding. Okay, gotta sharpen again. I sent you some mind maps on Instagram. Oh, thanks, Sally Mae. I love new mind maps. I haven't looked them any up in years, but I love them. But I should say I love mind maps, and I haven't looked any up for years. That sounds like I really don't love them, but I do. Thanks. I will look that up. I appreciate it. If y'all like that type of thinking and expanding of ideas, trust me, there are, Sally, really, how many? Millions? Well, probably not. There's probably at least hundreds of different ways that you can do it, mind map. You just kind of figure out what kind of works for you. At least that's what I did. I kind of found some of the ones that I just enjoy doing. And once you find a few, it's like you don't ever run out, It's like, but is Eileen leaving? Oh, you have to go with your neighbor. Okay, Eileen. Y'all are safe for the enabling for a little bit. Because, here, let me go. Eileen's, we have where is it? This is Eileen, her sound. That's because she enables us all the time. She's off to shop. So she'll probably come back and tell us something awesome to buy. Hey Mac, can you do those hair strokes so well? My hair strokes always look like check. Well, don't check them, Kenny. Don't check them. Those look like check marks. Don't check them. Just do lines. Girl. Don't check them. All right, so I'm doing shadows under these little bead things here, And I'll probably I might put some light highlights on there. I probably will in both cats. And and I've shown you all this before with hair and all kinds of things. You can do with anything. Is like leaf veins. If you want to really highlight something, then go in there with a Posca or a Sharpie. Let me get them here. Neither one. The Sharpie white, what is it called? Water-based paint. And this is a water base. This one is acrylic paint. But either one, when you go over, you're penciling with it, and it'll be white. But then you can go back over it once it's dry. I need some hot coffee, guys. I'm losing my voice. Too early in the day to lose my voice. Then you can go back over it with the color. I'll show you here on the foot. Just let me finish this and I'll do a little sample. So just do a little furry foot here. And see all the lines right here where the artist has already got like fur. Try not to. Well, go slower for a while, Kenny, till you get your hand memory. muscle memory for that stroke. And then you won't make check marks. And I just thought of something else while I was doing this. Are you doing downward like this, or are you doing like upward? Sometimes you try different ways, and that might make a difference too. The reason I just say all this, because I did calligraphy for years, and how you form your lettering matters so much. So it probably does in color, you know, in this too. Stamping has a back issue sale. Yeah, I have all those, Lena, and the same thing for all the back issue. Well, I have all the Somerset Studios. Not this last year or two. I haven't been collecting them that much the last couple years because there's just so much the same from, you know, what, 1990. When was the first one out? This has been out 20 years, and I probably have most of them. Okay, Kenny, yeah, try going down like that. And kind of, and you know, see how this one's kind of coming around like that? Because his body is going to form that way. Okay, so now there's a little bit of shading here on the foot. Let's just get a little bit darker here. Kind of make it look so his foot's kind of, you know, around. Okay, so what I want to show you though is with, let me just use the sharp. It doesn't matter, either one. But if you want some highlighted fur, then you can go in here, and I'll just put a few here with the white. And it's probably going to be tiny. I don't know if you're going to see it. Well, once this is dry, so let's just say I want a few extra white highlighted fur on the foot, like maybe coming off the edge there. Let's just put a couple more. So you see how I came off the edge of the foot? Now let that dry, or hit it with the heat gun, which is what I'm going to do to speed it up here. Heat gun. So once it's dry, then I can take the gray or a lighter gray. Let's go with the lighter gray. And go over the white so that the fur is not white, but it'll be light gray. So I'm going to go over the top of the dried marker, paint pen I should say. Go back over the paint pen. And so you'll see that that fur is still lighter, but it's not white. Yeah. Ranja, either a Sharpie white water-based paint pen. This is the water-based. There's an oil-based one too. I don't like those as much. The water-based Sharpie or the acrylic paint Uniball Uni Posca. Either one. And they have, both of them have different kinds of tips. Fine point, whatever. Just get the fine point, you know. This one, what does it say? This says extra fine, and this one I think is in Japanese, so I can't tell you. But I think it's a 0.7. For some reason, that's coming to my head. 0.7. So, and these also come in broad tip and different tips. So you did a Citrusol, Nat Geo paint. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, Sally Mae. Paula used to do those. The Nat Geo Citrusol. I've not done that. If I did, it might have been a very short test, like one time years ago. But yeah, it's cool technique. Okay, so that's what you can do, and that works on leaves, hair, fur, anything that you want a bright highlight, but you don't want it white. Just use the white, but then go over it once it's dry with your pencil. And we'll do more of that in a minute. I want to come back over here to him now. Okay, so what we started with on this one, the tabby, is we just drew some very faint lines in the direction of the fur. And I just looked, I don't have it here now, but when Monday, I just looked up a tabby cat to kind of see the direction of the stripes, especially like kind of around the face, right? And I just drew a very faint line, and then I just went over that faint line with some little fur strokes like that. UPS called, Jean? Did you have a sexy UPS guy deliver something? That Posca of yours? Okay, I missed it. I missed it, Jean. I'm sorry. It scrolled off before I saw your comment there. And I'm also going to do their whiskers. So we're going to do that too. Blue Moon. Sorry, Jean. Linda said that the Daler Rowney need to be used on acrylic paint. That's the key. Oh, you mean the pencils, Linda? Oh, okay. So this one's considered the medium point. It's a 0.7, I think, Jean. So there's a finer one than this. The finer one is probably looks more like that, maybe. I don't know. They're pretty similar. As long as they have a little point on them. That, you know, just like I have some of the, let me see here. Let's see what this one is. Yeah, this one's a broader point. See how it's rounded? And again, I don't know. Oh, this is 1.3. This is a 1.3 millimeter. Yeah. And this is it doesn't say on here, but I'm thinking it's a 0.7. I don't know. Oh, it's supposed to, okay. Oh, it's supposed to be oops, not ups. Okay. Okay, so now I think what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and do some of the orange. And so what I'm going to do is just kind of flick in a few little orange hairs in between, very lightly, because I'm going to go over this too with the lighter color. But I just want to get in a few little orange color in there. And I know he's an exaggerated orange. It's not like a true tabby is not literally this orange. But, you know, it's our fairy tale book. We can do what we want. So I'm going to put in some little orange fur. And I'll probably just go back and forth between the two. The sienna and the orange. And you can have a few darker ones. Push a little harder for a few darker ones. I know, Brenda, that's Corey again. Yeah, it's been a while since Corey's been here. Uncertain Voyage, Corey. So I'm just getting that in here. And again, I'm trying to kind of go in the direction that the fur would grow, you know. And then I'm going to go back over it. I'm going to shade some with the dark. I might shade some with the orange too. Let's see here. Let me get all the little fur lines in first. And again, some are darker than others. Just kind of pop in a few darker ones. So yeah, I was happy to do this for this. Jen and Jane are doing a color along. I don't know who else is in their color along, but Jennifer Crackalacken and Jane were doing a color along together on this page. So I was doing this to kind of go along with them. Yeah, you can make them you can make them any color you want. Yeah. Connie says your UPS driver gives me eyes when I make caramel corn at work. Color for you and me. Coloring is the therapy coloring. Hey, Prisma, by the way. Another poem. Coloring for you and me. Coloring is therapy. Coloring is fun, you see, with Dede and some strong coffee. Yeah, Prisma has been quite the poet lately. Do you have the other one handy, Prisma, that you did the other day? I'll read that if if you have it handy. All right, so now I got some orange there. Let's put some in the ears and then some in the face. Little nose. And like I said, you can go past, and which I'm going to do on both of them more extensively, past the edges of the fur line where it's drawn. Trust me, Hanna Karlzon is not going to, am I saying it right? Karlzon is not going to email you and tell you you did it wrong. Yeah, links are not open, guys. If y'all need a link open, you'll have to get Janet or whoever, Julie Topaz, to open them for you. Okay, so let's do a little there. And I think we did, we noted that the little mouth, like this part, the little chin, I should say. He's got double chins. The little chin on the tabby is lighter color. And who was it? Was it Colleen? She said it looked like it had a mustache. So we'll put a little tongue there if you want to. Put a little tongue. Okay, so now I got a base. We got a base to work with, right? All right, so now I'm going to go back to the sienna color. Let me sharpen. Do some shading. And some hair flicking, some fur flicking here on the edges. And you take as much time. It's supposed to be relaxing. And again, guys, when I color by myself, I never feel like in a hurry or anything. When I'm streaming, I try to squeeze in as much as I can. So sometimes, it probably feels like I'm really hurrying. But I don't edit my videos. I don't cut them down. I don't do time lapse or anything like that, because I really want you to see how long something actually takes, even if I'm even though I'm going a little fast. Connie, I did a neon pink wash on one of the big fish in Lost Ocean postcards. Pencil doesn't go over it like the regular acrylic paint. A neon pink wash of what? You mean paint? You mean, oh, I see what you're saying. The neon pink paint is a different texture than the regular acrylic paint. That might be. I don't know that I've ever done a neon painted. It might have some kind of binder in it. Here's the thing about, and I say this all the time, if you use acrylic paint washes as your base, I just use Americana craft paint. And it's just matte. It doesn't say matte because that's just their standard acrylic paint is matte. If it says satin or gloss, your pencils will not do this. I mean, you could probably bear down and get some pencil to go over it, but you're not going to get the shading and the blending. So don't get anything that says satin or gloss. It has to be matte. So what I'm thinking, Connie, is that the neon colors might have some satin binder in them. Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I've ever tried to color over neon. But I'm just thinking that may be the case. All right, I'm going to sharpen again. That there might be a sheen to them. Oh, thanks, Lena. Lena said, it's beautiful. I'm not even a cat person. Now, I don't want to get too dark here. It'd be very easy to get very dark. So, I want to be careful, because I'll lose all the orange tabbiness of him. And then again on the edges, I might go a little off the fur on the edges, just to make him look a little furrier. And I'm going to go back over it with some orange in there too. And then the little whisker dots, I'll accent those. And then I'll also go put white on them too. Can use golden satin glazing liquid to seal. I don't seal anything. I mean, I can't say that's not going to work. I don't seal anything. I don't gesso. Even when I'm doing my mixed media collage, I don't gesso anything. If I need to white something out, like in the little mini magazine playground, I just paint. Just paint. I just use white acrylic paint. The thing about, here's the thing about gessoing your, if you do, whether it's a clear gesso or a white gesso, gesso is a resist. So if you try to watercolor on top of gesso, and it's probably going to depend on the type of gesso too, like the brand, whether it's Liquitex or Golden or whatever, but it seals your page, which that can be good if you want this effect. Okay, I know Paula used to use a lot of gessoing when she would, but she did acrylic paint on top of it, and she could get some cool effects, because what it does, it prevents your mediums from soaking into the page. Well, if you're doing watercolor, the watercolor's kind of floating on top of that gesso. Do you know what I'm saying? Know what I mean, Vern? It's not getting into your paper. So watercolor is kind of meant to get into the paper. So, and on a color book page, again, it's going to depend on the gesso. It's going to depend on, your paper and all that, Always test in the back. But I don't do any of that stuff. I don't gesso. I don't clear gesso. I don't seal anything until the very end. That's when I varnish. I don't put anything else on, That's just me. But everybody has their own techniques. It's always fun to see other people do different things. So see how I'm going on the edge right there? See if I can get a little closer. See where the Hanna's put I'm just kind of flicking out some fur off the edge to make it a little furrier. So many variables, so little time. Prisma, I did a little bit. I have a little bit. I just haven't had much time to do that. I did get the coloring, the Bible coloring book. I mean, what do you call it? The coloring book Bible, the one that the small pink one, but I haven't had much time to work in it. So yeah, I feel bad too, because I really couldn't wait to get that book. Paula got one. I think Paula got the blue one. A whole bunch of us ordered it, and then I haven't really worked in it much. But yeah, I do have that. I have a different book that I work in, Prisma. I'll have to show it to you sometime. It's a big book that I work in, but it's like, I hate to show things I haven't done anything in, because I can't recommend things when I haven't done it myself. I'll show you one in a minute, though. I'll show you. It's going to be enabling, though, Prisma. I'm telling you, I'm going to enable you when I show you this. A glazing liquid would prevent bleed through. Do you follow, I'm sure if you are interested in that Bible journaling, Prisma, that there are illustrated faith videos on YouTube that show you how to do different things on those thin pages. I have my own way of dealing with that, but again, it's so hard to show. I don't want to go off on it. I'm going to show you something that's going to enable you. Don't email me and say, oh my gosh, now I got to go buy this. I hear that so much, guys. And I just share. I never mind if, people enable me. I may not be able to get it right away, but I write it down in my idea book. Enable you? Okay, I'll enable you after. Let me finish these cats. Oh my gosh. And also, Prisma, are you on Instagram? There's plenty of samples over there. But I think probably the most famous one, and I guess, the most well-known, is the Illustrated Faith videos. So if you're interested in that, yeah. And I told BG about it too. BG asked some questions on Twitter, and she says she follows them too, so I guess. Me sharpening. And Liquitex is cheap. All right, I don't like, let me just say this, Liquitex, if you're talking about Liquitex gesso, Aaron, and I don't know if that's what, I missed that part. I personally don't like liquid, it's got its place. It turns your page into sandpaper. The Liquitex white, I mean, not I don't know about their clear, but their white gesso is very, very rough. And again, it's got its places, but it's probably not on your color book. It's probably not on your color book pages to have it that sandpapery. If you're so inclined to gesso things. I made a breakfast and washed the dishes to Dede this morning, Ben. Aw, thanks. Aw, thanks, Tatiana. I gotta go watch more of your videos, girl. And she did I think was it an Instagram video? that one cracked me up too. I won't say what you said, but it cracked me up. You didn't gesso coloring books. Oh, okay, yeah. So, again, if you're doing, paintings on canvas and you want a texture and you like, a sandpapery texture, or maybe you're doing, like Jean has done, different textured type pieces in acrylic, a sandpapery type, I don't want to lose my stripes here, a sandpapery type gesso would probably be the thing. But I didn't like it. Okay, so Jamie says Liquitex Pro is great, and so is Liquitex Black Gesso. Okay, well that's good to know. I just did not, I got a big jar of it on sale at Michael's a few years ago, and that stuff was so gritty. I just never used it. I think it ended up drying out, or I threw it away or something. Oh, Rebecca, Dana 56. Are you wanting to put a link in or something? If Julie Topaz is available, she'll open links for you. Yeah, you like texture, Linda, on your paintings? Connie, one of the women on YouTube, puts gesso on a lot of her pages, and it sounds like she is eating her pencils up when she's. Yeah, see, that's a thing, and I guess it's going to depend on the brand. And like who is it that just said, um, the Pro gesso? It's probably doesn't have the grit. Maybe. I just don't use it. If I need to white something out, I just white it out with acrylic paint, with white acrylic paint. Like in the magazine journals and stuff. I don't know if do you girls, are y'all referring to some of the color book girls or something like that? Go ahead and open links, Janet. Let them put in um, those links. We don't mind sharing. I just like to know what y'all are putting in. Not mostly you guys, but it works better for coating newsprint. Okay, yeah, to thicken up your paper. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever tried to coat newsprint, Linda. I guess that it would be. I mean, I've used it on canvas, but not any time recent, and definitely not in any paper things. I don't gesso my art journals or my color books or anything like that. That's just me, guys. There's the gazillion techniques out there. You got to just kind of find and practice and play and find what you like to do. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just what works for you or what you enjoy. What you enjoy. Yeah, and I don't like chalk. in pastels. That's just me. And I've had to use it before, like in, you know, life drawing classes and things like that. But I don't enjoy chalk. I don't like the dryness. You know, I've done some chalk art on the driveway and that kind of thing. And I've done some pastels. I've did a few. It's before I uploaded to YouTube, so there's probably no videos for them. But I just don't enjoy it. It's dry. They're too dry. It makes my hands feel dry. Yeah, and so yeah, Erin, you're using your distress crayons. So with you want to gesso that, and that's just like I was saying earlier with Paula. She has some awesome Journal Artista has some awesome gesso techniques in her art journaling. You know, so that you can wipe away paint through stencils and all kinds of cool techniques. It's just that, you know, it's just not what I do. But that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. It's just something different. So if you're using, like you said, the distress crayons and they work better on gesso, then, you know, you need the gesso. Okay, so let's get the little furry tail here. I need to sharpen again. So Jennifer Crack-a-Lackin', if you watch this later, or Jane, I hope this kind of helped a little bit with the fur issues. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with the orange, and I'm going to kind of almost like go over some of the, I just want to kind of get more orange in here. So let's just maybe do a little bit of shading, a little bit more fur flicking. Maybe under the eyes we'll go a little oranger. Yeah, and that's what I was talking about earlier. What it does, gesso prevents whatever you're working on from sinking into the paper, and that's to me the purpose of it. So if you're using watercolor though, that's preventing your watercolor from getting into the paper, which that just causes your water to float. Yeah, exactly, Julie. All right. Kind of liking that. His face is a little darker than I wanted, but that's okay. I got kind of went a little extra on the eyes here because I just like doing eyes. All right, so I'm just going to kind of go right over the top of the darkest, like the stripes here, and just kind of flick in some more orange. Just kind of make some hairs longer and just kind of blend a little bit. Hi, Carla. Dede, your kitties. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Kenny. I always go with image mileage may vary. The experience. Yeah, exactly. So patient with the hair of these cats. Well, you gotta take your time on some things if you want it to look, I mean, you gotta put each little hair if you want it to look like fur. Or you can do essence of it. Like I said, just do a few so that you get that your mind fills in the rest of it. You have a few uh, essence of fur. And just kind of go over it all to kind of make him orange. But the background is already there for you with the watercolor. Okay. Do his little tail. Can you see the difference here between that and that? Okay, I got to go back in here with a little bit of the sienna on the tail, flicking in a few hairs there. Just a few, because I want to keep it. All right, now I'm going to go in with the orange. Kind of go over like that. And I'm making him pretty furry. Want to come over and feel my husband's bald head? we'll draw on hair on his head. Oh, Prisma. Alrighty. That's funny. As long as we don't have to draw any extra hairs in their eyebrows or ears. Lindsay said, pardon me? I'm sorry, what did I say, Lindsay? It sounded very clear. You turn on the page. I missed something there. I missed what you're commenting on there, Lindsay Whimsy. Okay, so there we go. There's a start. Now I want to go back over here to him with the dark gray and just kind of make sure I have everything kind of shaded. Because next I'm going to go in here with the white and lighten up some and do the, I need some black right under the eyes here. I want to darken his eyes a little. The shadow under the eye. These cats are fluffy. Yes, they are. Button was asking about your new... Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, if you put it in caps, I'm thinking you're talking to me, and I know people accidentally put caps. It's no big deal. But I just look at it like more closely when it's in caps because y'all are trying to talk to me. Okay, I'm thinking I'm liking it. Let me go along the edge here and make sure I got the little edges. Let's see, a little bit more on the tail here. A little fluffier. Okay, let's go around him. Looks good. Maybe a little bit more fluff here. The edges. I just want it consistent since I started doing it around the edges. I want to make sure it all is everywhere. Okay. So now what I want to do is take the white, whether it's the Sharpie water-based paint or the Posca acrylic paint. I think I used this one a minute ago. You try to use this one as long as this one's working here. Okay. As long as it's a fine point enough to do this. Yeah, the eyeliner. Yeah. Well, here, let me do the other one for you too, Kenny. This one here. Let's do a little bit darker eye. A little bit more shading around the eye. Something like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, do I want to do the whiskers too? I think I will. Okay, so I'm going to take a Sharpie pen. Where's my Sharpie pen? Or a Posca, I mean a Pitt, either one. A Faber-Castell Pitt or the Sharpie pen. Not the Sharpie marker, it says pen on it. And those won't go through your page. Posh kittens, yeah. And I'm going to go over their whiskers because I want to add white. And technically, see how I'm going over their collar? You really want to have the collars and everything done before you do this. Or any background or anything else. Because you're going over the top of something you haven't colored yet. And that means you're going to have to go do this step again. Because you're going to color over it. Alright, so I'm just going to darken their whiskers. And you can add more if you want, but I'm just going to go, she's got quite a few whiskers on her cat, so. And then I'm also going to darken the little whisker dots. like that. And now I'm going to take my Posca and I'm going to highlight. Now it's not going to show when you get over here on the white, but it's going to show on their fur. So I'm going to just kind of gently kind of go highlight their little whiskers. See? And it thins out the dark too. It just makes them look a little more, I don't know, whisker-esque. So I'm going to do that first. And now what I want to do is highlight a few fur, like maybe just a little bit around here. And again, these that I'm doing with white, although on the gray it's not so bad because he might have some really light, you know, fur like this with lighter color. But like on the orange cat, he's probably not going to have white fur in him. The gray, it might kind of look like, oh yeah, that just might be highlighted fur. But I'm going to go back over it. And I'm not going to put as many. I'm not putting as many as, you know, just a few. Just a few little highlights here and there. And then when it dries, or I hit it with the heat gun, I'll go back over it with the light gray or the light orange. So I'm just going to kind of go in here and flick in a few highlights. It just gives it a little bit more. And you can cross over some of the under fur. Go like a little bit cross over it so it even gives it more drama. That's like when you're doing hair. If you have someone's hair colored and you swoop a couple of these over the cross over the whole head of hair, it looks like a few flyaways. So I'm just going to kind of pick a few here and there. Like that. And then I'll go back over them and knock them back from white to light gray. Like right here on the top of the leg goes around this way, it's going to be darker. On the top right here, it's going to have lighter fur. So you want to kind of look where it might be lighter. Don't know if you ever talked about this, but are you self-taught? Kind of both. I've been doing art all my life, and I've moved 30 times in my life. I was raised in the military, married the military. So do I have an art degree? No. I did go back to school to get one, but I had medical things, so I dropped out before I finished. So I have taken some, you know, college core art classes, a lot of life drawing, and I'm also I can self-teach myself very easily with books. So I've read thousands. I love to read just like you do. And so I'm different people learn in different ways. I'm a reading learner. I can read and learn very easily. So yeah, I did go back to school in my 30s. Actually went back to get a degree in journalism, but with a minor in art. I know that sounds weird. Why did you go for that when you're an artist? I just did. And then and y'all know I'm not much on talking about medical things here, but so I didn't finish, and then after everything blah blah blah, I just never went back because I was already in my 30s when I went back to college. But I tell you, it was fun. I'll tell you what was fun about it. I love hanging out with young people, so it was awesome. They'd help me with my math, and I'd help them with their English. So it was good. Yeah. But I've been doing art for over 50 years. So, and, and and I'll say it again, and some people will disagree with me on this, but this is just my theory. And just from observation and experience, that I think everybody's born with a love of something. Either they're born with it or they acquire fairly early, or sometimes not, could be later, they acquire or are born with a love of something creative. Okay? And if you love it, you are going to spend time, money, practice on that thing. Okay? Now, I'm not talking about some people come out of the womb and can play Mozart on the piano at 2. I'm talking about the rest of us. Uh, and I know people mean, well, like you had a comment on, or we were commenting on your Facebook thing, Jen, kind of about this topic. And people, and not you, but I get people saying, "Oh, you're so talented. I wish I had your talent. You have so much talent. You were born with so much talent." Well, I think I was born with a love of art, or early acquired a love of art, whichever one you want to say. But then I spent 50 years practicing, taking classes, going to live class drawings, reading hundreds of books, doing hundreds of hours of videos, practice, practice, practice. And so I understand that they mean it as a compliment, but when people tell an artist that has spent thousands of dollars, thousands of hours of practice, I wish I had your talent, they really don't really know. That's like telling, a musician at Carnegie Hall, "Oh, I just wish I had your talent." They would look at you like you had 3 heads. You know what I mean? Because it's hours and hours and thousands of hours and years of practice and classes and supply testing and everything. Yeah. And that, I think that's true with anybody. And that goes for whether you are a gift. And I say gifted in a sense that, not that you were born with a gift, but that you. Let me back up. I think that it's a love, not a gift. If you are born or acquire a love for something. Now, if you want to call that you were born with a gift to love something, then I think everybody's born with a gift of some form of creativity. But what they do with that love will depend on their ambition, their means, their, how much time they want to put in it. And I think, some people say, well, it's hereditary. Your mom liked it, your dad liked it, and I think some of that could be just the fact that it's kind of like the guilds of old. When you were born into a guild, I'm going too crazy here with white, because I got to talking. You are around it, and so the opportunity for you to develop that area is going to be greater. Like, for instance, Cam. He's always loved art, but if he didn't have a Nana that taught him everything she knew, he probably wouldn't have as much skill at his age. I mean, all through his teens, he drew. But I was always kind of guiding him. Okay, well, that's not shaded right. That doesn't look right. You need to redo that. You need to practice some more on hands. You need to do whatever, right? And so, because I was there encouraging him and helping him and grew up around art, he's more apt to want to do that. You see what I'm saying? So there are benefits to growing up in, say, a musician's home. I can't read music, sing, can't carry a tune. But, if I would have grown up with in a musician's home, I may have. So, Okay, so let me hit this with the heat gun before I go back over it. But I do believe everybody's born with something that they love. But it's going to take some ambition, practice to get the skills. And once you have the skills, then it's like People go, do you ever get art block? Do you ever get, don't know what to draw? Well, you can, that's why I have a lot of my idea collecting list and things that I've shown and shared with y'all about combining things and getting inspired. But once you learn, hang on, I gotta sneeze. But once you learn, say, the skill of blending, of course you can always get better at everything. But once you learn certain skills, once you learn how to observe things and see things for what they are, not what you think they are, or, once you acquire those skills, it's not like you forget how to use them. Well, maybe if you didn't do it for 50 years or something, you may. But, once you have learned skills, it's like anything else. A computer programmer is not going to forget how to program. He may learn, there may be new computer languages, new, programming, new things to learn. But it's not like he's going to forget, oh, what's a computer? You see what I'm saying? Oh, thank you, guys. So now all I'm going to do is go over all the white that I just did lightly. And I'm not bearing down. I'm just kind of covering up the white with a light gray, just so it's not a stark white. However, those white, you'll still see the lightness, but it won't be white. It'll be light gray. So anyway, and so I think what it is when people call something talent that they're born with, I think this is my view, again, just from observation and experience and some research. I think that what it is you are born with a love of something, or you acquire that love from your environment, of your family or whatever, a teacher. You go to school and Jean is your music teacher, for example, and the kid may have never thought about loving music. And then all of a sudden he's got Jean for a music teacher, and she instills a love of music in that child. And then from then on, they're going to have to work at it, Yeah, and Jean believes that people are born with an aptitude and ability in a certain area. I call it a love, because you don't come out of the womb knowing your scales. You don't come out of the womb knowing how to shade. You may be, I think you're born with more, you call it an aptitude, I call it a inclination towards. You have an inclination towards certain things. And then after you decide or realize you're inclined to love a certain creative endeavor, you're going to want to work at it. I have no desire to learn music. I may have at a younger age been able to really put the time and effort into it. No, I mean, anybody can learn certain things at any age. I don't mean to say that just because you didn't learn art when you were 4 doesn't mean you can't learn art at 50 or 40 or 60. But obviously you're not going to have the years put into it of practice that somebody that has loved it since they were 4 has put in it. Yeah, and here's my thing on it, Jean. If you don't love it, you won't put in the time. I mean, I guess you could be forced to, like some people may not love math and they're forced to learn it to graduate from school, but you're not going to put in the time, money, effort, hours, practice if you don't love it. You just won't do it. You're going to put all that effort into something you do love. So is it possible to learn other things? Of course it is. But are you going to be, really good at it if you don't like it? Who's going to be good at art if they don't even like it? You see what I'm saying? You're not going to be good at it if you don't like it, because you won't put the time into it. So I'm trying to kind of make the point of when people, and again, I understand they mean it as a compliment. I wish I had your talent. I want to always say, and it depends on the person, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, and I know they mean well. They mean it as a compliment that I like your art. So most of the time, I just say thank you. But in the back of my head, I'm thinking, yeah, that in 50 years. You know what I mean? And then again, they don't mean it in any offensive way. So I just say thank you. Okay, so here we go. So see how I've gone over all the white with the gray? Now it doesn't look white. There's a couple places I might have missed. It doesn't look like white, and if there are a few, it'll just look like a few extra highlights. But anyway. And I think a lot of us probably agree more than we think. We're just using different terms. We're just using, Jean says, born with an ability. I think it's born with the love, you know. Yeah, so she's not going to probably be a writer. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because she didn't love it enough, Jean. She didn't love it enough to pursue it. Because whatever you love, you will pursue. It's just in a human nature. You're going to want to put your time and effort, and this is true of everybody. You will put your time and effort into something, good or bad. All right, so let's go up here on the tail where I've put in the white. So yeah, so just when you see an artist that you really like, just say, I really like your work. I really like your work is probably more of a compliment to an artist than I wish I had your talent. You wouldn't say that, to a plumber or like I said, a computer programmer. Oh, I wish I had your talent. It's a skill combined with the love, combined with experience. Okay, so moving on to another topic. Linda said, I won a competition in hairdressing but hated touching other people. Oh my gosh, Linda. That's hilarious. Maybe, well, you know what you could have done, Linda? You could have, here's where the idea collecting comes along. So you want a competition in hairdressing, but you hated touching people. You needed to work on wigs, Linda. You needed to design and do wigs. Okay, so now I'm going to come over here I'm going to go with, let's do the white first. Let's do the white on this cat. And again, I'm just going to flick in a few here and there. I'm spending more time on this than I thought I was going to. But, when you get to talking, you start, I do anyway, I'm just kind of slowing down and enjoying the process and chatting. So she was born with the love of it, Jean. Love you, Sassy. Okay, so I've just put a few, and it looks really white, see? But we're going to go back over it with orange. So I'm going to just pop in a few extra little highlighted fur. Especially like on the tops of the paws here, where it would be lighter. And I think, like I said, I think we just sometimes we just are kind of like using a different term for some of the same things. And I want a couple on the sides, so just a few little extra oomph hanging off the side. Maybe a little on the toes. Let's put a couple extra on the toes. I went to beauty school but was afraid I would get someone in my chair like my mother. I'm not sure what like your mother means, Connie. I don't know that we want to know. All right, so let's do the little tail here. Let's do a few. And again, I'm kind of flicking some out different directions just to make it look more like, because he's a fluffy cat. Most tabbies too are probably not fluffy either. But we've made these some fluffy ones. That's for sure. Made them some fluffy ones. After I do this cat, then hang on. Oh, Prisma, are you still here? I forgot I was going to show you an enabling. All right, let me dry this, and then I'll show you. Yes. Yeah, the paint pen's really, a white paint pen, then going over it with the color just does make it pop. Yeah. And you can use your color paint pens for all different things. I could have gone in here with a brown paint pen and done some individual fur, Okay, so now I'm going to start back up here on the ear. And all right, so kind of take a look at where the white is. Okay. Now I'm going to go over it with the orange, and it'll still stay. The light will stay, but it just won't be white. Those individual little strokes will still be there. And I'm kind of trying to stay on them. I'm not trying to literally go over each one, but I don't want to get solid orange going either. I'll color around his little nose a little better. And by the way, I was going to mention this too. If y'all don't know Linda White Holloway, she has awesome art. You can find her on Facebook, and I'm not sure what. Do you have your stuff in a gallery at this time, Linda? I can't remember because I know y'all moved from one, right? Yeah, exactly, Jean. Jean says that her mom and dad spent time their preteen and teen years as chauffeurs between band, piano, singing, and dance. I get that because Boo is my granddaughter is in competition cheer. Well, not now. She's not. She's in a high school varsity cheer, but she's in competition cheer through the high school, but not on the traveling thing. I mean, I guess they travel some with between the high schools, but anyway, she loves sports and very athletic, and so we know how that goes, Jean. Traveling to take kids to competitions and practices. But I'll tell you, when she was really I mean, she still does it, but, now she's in high school, so she's doing it just through the high school, not in competition like through the gym. She still goes to the same gym, but she doesn't do travel with the competition because she's in 2 cheers at school. But it's a lot of work. Oh, so your stuff is shown. It's still at Low Tide Gallery on Facebook. Okay, I didn't know if you'd moved it from that to when y'all moved and all, Linda. So yeah, Low Tide Gallery. It's in Canada, but y'all, go peruse the awesomeness that is Linda White Holloway on Facebook. So I'm going to show y'all this as soon as I back it up here or finish these little white hairs. You'll see how you'll still be able to see them, but they're going to be orange. And again, I guess I could have found, got out a light orange Posca pen, but this works good. A white, pen will work with every color. So if you just have the white pen, you can just go over it with your pencils. You don't have to have every color for this technique for, a color book. I use my Poscas on other things like in art journals, mixed media. You can do, I don't use it much in color books except for the white. So, did I see a Prisma still here? We drive 6 8 hours a week taking my daughter to Chivers. I know, Kmore. Hey, hey, girl. And then all the if you have to travel. You have to travel different states. And then if they win competitions like Boo did, we're down to Florida, down to Epcot, not Epcot, ESPN Center, for the competitions down in Florida. So it's, yeah, it's a lot. Okay, so here we go. So I think I got, well, let's see, I got a couple here. I think I got most of them. So you see how it still looks like white fur flicks, but it's not, and I'm thinking their white their white whiskers are a little stark. I'm going to knock that back a little too. It's just a little too stark on the orange cat anyway. So there we go. Low Tide Galleries in Bridgeton, Nova Scotia. Thanks, Linda. Bridgetown. I'm not sure if they pronounce it Bridgeton or Bridgetown. Bridgetown, Nova Scotia. And now people go, oh, I have a cousin that lives there, and blah, blah. Okay, so I am going to stop on this one. Jennifer Crackalacken and Jane wanted to see how I did fur. I'm not going to color right now. I will eventually finish it, but I'm not going to color all the jewelry and all that right now, because the main thing they wanted to see was the fur. So I hope that helped, and I hope y'all like it. So yeah, I know, isn't Linda's work fabulous? I know everybody's looking at our Facebook page now. So yeah, I'm liking it so far. I mean the overall page. All right, now let me see. I'm looking for. Let me just look in the chat list over here. I have to move it. I have to go hand look at it here. Let's see. Where's Prisma? Is she here? LMNO. Nope. I guess she left. So I'll have to show her later. Because, yeah, I was going to enable her. But I didn't enable her fast enough. So we'll enable her the next time I see her. I did travel to some of her competitions. Not all of them, Connie. But I did travel to some. And the Atlanta ones, too. There was quite a few in Atlanta. I didn't go to the Florida one. Denise, of course, she's going 2 times a year to Florida because they'd win a bid, and then so that would be the first one, and then they'd have the second big one, the main big competition. So it's usually 2 times to Florida. Finish the cat. I did finish the cats. You mean all the jewelry and everything, Kenny? Yeah. Well, I can't promise you. I can't promise you. I'll try to get back to it because so many color books, everybody has a different one. Okay, yeah, and Colleen was coloring along too. Scrap Chick Colleen, she was coloring along with. So it's on Picola Part 1 is on Ustream. It is on Ustream. It just would not upload to YouTube on Monday because that was toward the end of the day. Remember when we kept getting disconnected? I think it corrupted the file so it won't upload. So for whatever reason, it is on Ustream, Part 1. And then I'm going to stop this here and save this video separately. I'm going to try to save them all separately. That way if there's any issues, we'll have what we have done. Okay, so that is in Seasons. This is the Swedish version, the Seasons. It says Seasons on the English version, and the book is blue. So even though looks different, it is the same book. Okay, so I'm going to stop this video, save it, take a break, go get some coffee, and then I wanted to work. And again, let me check on the pronunciation. Zemiasnova. Zimja Snova. Don't email me on my Croatian accent. Don't do it. But anyway, I'm going to finish a page in this, or we'll work on it. So hang on, guys. I'm going to be right back. Hang loose, and thanks for watching.